Alright, so new update here. First off, back to my main PC and using an old microphone just for a really quick recording here. I just wanted to make sure the frame rate was going to be good this time so I can show off a few animations and whatnot. Anyway, let's get in there. So here are the new units. I have this many so far and a few more to come, but I'm taking my time trying to figure out what units will actually be good to add. I don't want anything pointless or redundant. I want them all to be somewhat unique and interesting, and so they each have a purpose and feel like they're doing something. So we have the short bow, and then the long bow, and obviously the short bow is going to have less range and less damage, and he'll be wearing cheaper armor. And then we have 3 swordsmen, and I'm going to have it in sort of a class system, like a peasant soldier, a trained soldier, and a full-on knight, whatever. I haven't decided what I'm going to call them yet, but that's the general idea. And with each level, there'll be a better equipment, better sword, better shield, or whatever, and better armor. So, a big step up in each case, but more expensive to produce anyway. So the foot soldier uses a combat dagger and a wooden shield with a cheap helmet and not much armor. And then the knight has a long sword and a bigger shield and better armor. And then the full knight has a 2-handed sword and a full set of plate armor, so a step up that way. I may also have maybe an axe soldier, and then 2 upgrades. I may also have another upgrade for the pole arms, but I haven't decided yet. I'll do that here the next few days. And then next soldier is the guard. So we have a spear and a halberd, and those are these units you see standing around here, and they have a good range, with their long polearm weapon, so they can reach without having to move and cover this opening pretty well, as opposed to, say, a swordsman who has less range and has to physically walk and keep up with the enemy. And then there's the upgrade for that, which is a halberd, which does better damage, and maybe one more upgrade after that. I haven't decided yet. And then there's the worker, which will serve as the doing all the chores, basically, the lumberjack, the blacksmith, mining, whatever I put in the game. I haven't decided yet, but at the moment I have him sort of a general do everything kind of person. You want him to be a blacksmith, you click on the blacksmith station, he'll grab a hammer, walk over there and start working, and then you say, okay, I need more wood, so you click on him, you click over here at the wood station, he gets a saw or a axe or something and goes over there, and then to the mining camp, or whatever. And I could have it so there are multiple units, like a dedicated miner or blacksmith or whatever, but I'm not sure yet. The benefit of this, doing everything, is makes it more dynamic. You see what you need to work on, and you just click and have him do it. That's really all there is to it. So we'll leave it that way for now and see how it goes. Also, I have new animations. So as you see, when you click on a person, it'll have a little animation that shows you clicked on them. Nothing really fancy or anything, just something just to make it more interactive. I felt like when you click on something before, it just stands there. It's a little bit, I don't know, just not very interactive, just boring, static. So with this, he'll also play his sound and, of course, wave his arms, and it'll just make it look neat, I think. Now, the enemy has a health bar, as you can see, so they can now die. So I have a new animation for that as well, just a quick animation for the death. So I'll go ahead and show that off while I'm showing off a couple of these. So here's the swordsman animation. basically the same kind of stab attack as before, just a little bit more refined. Then there's the spear attack, which is the same as the halberd. Basic stab with the polearm, and he stands further back as well. He can attack from back here as opposed to having to walk up to here. Then there's the two-handed sword animation, and I'll show that off more up here. There's a death animation. Also, once he dies, I had to disable the scripts, so he's not doing anything. You know, I don't want him to be interactive like this when he's dead. And I'm not sure how long I'm going to leave the bodies there, but they can stay for a little while, I guess, and then maybe after a few minutes they'll disappear. Depends on how many there are, I guess. But anyway, the two-handed sword has its own animation, just something to give it a little bit more weight to it. And then there's the archers. The bow is now combined with the rig, so it won't have that delay glitch like it did before. Sometimes when they were walking around, they would the bow would be delayed because it was a separate animation, but now it's built in completely, so it'll always be at the exact same time, and when he loads the arrow, it'll do everything properly. And same with the short bow. It's pretty much the same animation as the long bow, just a different rig. And I actually had to rebuild this entire bow rig. It didn't like being scaled, so I just had to start from scratch and build a new bow rig, and then combine that with the character and modify the animation just slightly, but no big deal, I guess. So now the tent here is going to serve as the barracks. So you'll have your unit creation and whatever else it'll do. And when you click, the character will walk out, and it looks neater, I guess. And then just appearing out of thin air. A little bit of clipping will occur, but no big deal. At the moment, you can click on as many as you want, and they'll all just spawn inside and walk out to this general area here. Now, I may also have upgrades on these. It's set up right now, so when they attack, they'll gain an experience point, and I may make it so they can have like upgraded strength or health or something. I haven't decided yet, but worry about that soon. This week I'm going to make some more characters, make an axe character and whatever else, so I'll add those in next video. Also, recently I have modified the environment, new lighting coming this direction this time, just for more dramatic shadows, and some new rock formations, a few new textures. Just basically modified the old textures. They looked a little bit flat. Changed a little bit of coloring here and there, the grass and the dirt, a little bit different color. Most of it's pretty close to what it was, but just a little bit subtle changes here and there. And let's see, still working on the win-lose conditions. I thought about adding a king, like you have a king in your base somewhere, and you can control him, and when he dies you lose the game, and of course the enemy characters will have their own king, and if you kill him you win. But I haven't decided yet. I saw that in Age of Empires 2 in a tournament game where they were playing this mode where you had to kill the king. I thought it was pretty neat, but I haven't decided yet. I have to test it out, see if it works, and see if it's fun. I don't want anything that can be exploited or anything that can be cheap. Not much fun. So we'll see how that goes. And in the meantime, I'll be working on the new units and new AI. So the next update I'll have more of that, I guess. So I'll see you next time.